I was honestly getting ready for bed. But something really hot off the presses came, and that is our first Planeswalker from Kaldheim. That's right. Cold Home. We got our first Planeswalker, which is pretty sweet. And some nasty, I'm not even going to get into it. It's like an equipment meets like a creature meets a legendary god, kind of what the heck is going on flip. So let's break them down. Oh boy. Get ready. Hold on to your seats. Okay, here we go. Okay. Kaya, the inexorable, whatever. It should say Kaya, the inexilable. We'll get to that in 1 second. Let's break it down. Sorry, the quality's not so great, but this is hot the presses, baby. That's all I could do. Legendary Planeswalker Kaya. Oh, the art is looking pretty sweet. I'm digging it. Those don't even look like axes in her hand anymore. Let's just talk about the art for a second, Like, they don't even look like axes. What happened to the axes? I thought you were, like, wielding these crazy axes, Gaia. These look more like something Melina from Mortal Kombat 2 would have in her hand. Those are pretty hot, too, though. All right, so anyway, enough of that. It's a 5-drop in Orzhov colors. Its +1 is interesting. Put a ghost form counter on up to 1 target non-token creature. It gains when this creature dies or is put into exile. Return it to its owner's hand and create a 1/1 flying spirit creature token. What do you think? I think that's okay. All right, I think it's all right. I think it's a 5-drop spell to begin with. However, okay, that is good though. Okay, that is really good. Okay. Because you're going to have that. You can bring back whatever you want. To your hand, If it went out on the battlefield, that would just be absolutely bonkers, You're talking some next level stuff. But you can at least return it to your hand, which is pretty good. And the 1/1 fly it spirit creature token, it's like a nice bonus, They're evasive. Whatever. I think they're pretty cool. So then the -3, remember, it starts with 5 loyalty. -3, exile target non-land permanent. That's pretty good. That's really good. You can exile any target non-land permanent. If it's at any permanent, that'd be just insane. But there's another card out there. It's actually a 4-drop that does the exact same thing. Exiles target non-land permanent. That being said, it costs 4 mana. That's pretty steep. So the fact that this is for 5 and it comes with that ability built into it, and you could really do it again as long as you +1 the next turn, you don't have any damage dealt to your Kaya, you're going to have to lose her. You can do it a second time. You're exiling 2 target permanents when the Sweet Cheeks by the second turn that she's on the field. That's really good. It's -7. I'm hearing mixed opinions on this one. Just keep in mind, ultimates on Planeswalkers. It's just that simple. They're an ultimate, okay? Usually they're game finishers. Now, this is not the strongest game finisher, but there's people saying it's really overpowering. I think its standard is pretty good. -7, you get an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from your hand, from your graveyard, or from among cards you own in exile without paying its mana cost. It has to be legendary. I know. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a legendary spell from your graveyard, from your hand, or from among cards you own in exile without paying its mana cost. Technically, once you have that emblem out, you can just bring back Kaya again and again and again, which is insane. Once you get that emblem, you can nonstop just sit there and -3. -3, we'll see you. You have to lose Kaya, of course, after that. But you can just keep exiling target non-land permanents. Kaya dies, do it again. You got the emblem. Bring it right on back. Nobody cares because there's so many different ways you can grab these cards from. And it's not like it's limited. It's any legendary spell, which is pretty ridiculous. What does all this translate into? Some ridiculous stuff, guys. Karn's Temporal Sundering, for example. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. Whoa. You can play that again. Sure, why not? Goes into exile. Who cares? Keep doing it. Nobody cares. If only Showdown of the Scalds was up in here. That would be pretty nuts. If that would work with his card, it'd be ridiculous. Unfortunately, it's not legendary. So you couldn't just bring that back. Elspeth Conqueror's Death. I'm just throwing these out there for hypotheticals. This at least will return your Kaya to your hand if you haven't ultimated yet. And it comes in with an extra loyalty counter on it. Okay, so maybe in some nasty control style deck. The downside with Kaya, though, is maybe not downside, it really depends how you want to run her. She's going to need some creature support. It's that simple. She's going to need some creature support. All I know is that if you were to have Elspeth Conqueror's Death, if that was a legendary card, and you could just keep bringing that back, oh my god. Like, that would be absolutely busted. I wonder if there's any cards out there that just give, or all your permanents are legendary now. I don't think that exists, though. I mean, that's a stretch. I mean, Wizards has a lot of cards out there, but I don't think that exists. Where you could just make that you're a legendary, you're going to the graveyard, you're a legendary, nobody cares. That would be really cool, just spitting fire at people. But yeah, that's only if you ultimate with all that crazy shenanigans on there. But I mean, the +1 isn't bad. The -3 is great. It is 5 though. I'm just curious how this is going to be all played out. How much play will she see? But also, we're not done yet, man. There's got to be other. There's going to be other cards that come out. Maybe that will help and support her. Usually people like kind of dismiss early spoilers, like, oh, it's not that great. But then they throw out a support card that just makes this ridiculous, and it helps out a lot. That didn't already exist, at least in standard format, and it just makes this card amazing in the format. So that's really cool and all. Hooray. Let's get into some other craziness. We have Halvar, God of Battle, and Sword of the Realms. This is on the same card. I know. I understand. It's on the exact same card. So Halvar, it's a flip. God of Battle is a 4-drop. If you want to play it this side, it's a legendary creature god. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. So you got to have like an aura on it. You got to enchant a creature, or it's already equipped with something, You go in and equip it. That's cool, baby. They got double strike now. Doesn't matter what it does, It has double strike as well, which is pretty cool. Got to be equipped or enchanted. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature. Hear that? You got to hear this all out. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control, to target creature you control. The downside about this is, really quick, something like right here, Colossus Hammer. Its equip cost is 8. Okay, it's not like some of these other recent, standard equipment cards, where when you cast this spell, attach it to target creature. It doesn't hit on their equipped, Like, it's the first thing I thought about was Colossus Hammer. But, I reread the card and I'm like, oh, that one little area, So equipped creature gets +10/+10 and loses flying, equipped for 8. Only 1 to drop on the field. The problem is it already has to be attached. You have to have this attached to a creature already on the field. I know. Otherwise, yeah, this would be extremely busted, Like if it's just, you just paid 1, put it out there, and then just quickly attach it, to something. That's nuts, Nahiri can do it with like a 1/1, So I guess if you have Nahiri, the newer Planeswalker that likes equipment cards, you can take Nahiri, use her +1, put it onto, I think it's a soldier token or something like that, a 1/1 soldier token. You can like equip stuff like with one of her abilities, like for free or whatever, one of her loyalty abilities. And then you can take that if you have Halvar, God of the Battle out, and then you can just move it, over to another creature that would benefit a lot better. Anyway, moving along. So I want to throw that one out there though. But yeah, so that's cool. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control to target creature you control. It's a 4/4. If it was a little different, yeah, this card would be nutty. Okay, this side of the card, but it's just not too overly powering. I mean, it's pretty good. We got to see what else we get again. Like it's really early in the spoiler season. This is our second mythic we've seen. That's it. We've only seen 2 mythics right now, besides the Commander, release for this set. So it's too early to judge. But then you also have Sword of the Realms, which is a deuce drop right here, which is pretty cool. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has vigilance. Whenever equipped creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. Well, that is annoying. Especially with stuff that keeps on like bouncing things or whatever, you know. Skyclave Apparition would kind of like this or benefit from this, you know. If it dies, cool, you just get it right back, and then okay, I'm gonna exile something else now because I'm gonna play it. Bam! You know, it's annoying. This is I think this side of the card is really where it shines. Sword of the Realms is a great legendary artifact equipment. You can only play one side or the other. That's kind of the downside. Unless I guess you bounce this back to your hand, then you can play the other side, you know, or something like that. But you have to actually bounce. You know, bounce is the wrong word because when you bounce, it goes down, then goes back up and go down. No, you got to return it to your hand, and then you know you can cast again, and you can pick the side. But really nuts, man. Whenever equipped creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. Equip for deuce. It's easy to equip, and it just keeps coming back. Think of something like that. You know, like usually closes out a game where it's really annoying. You know. Like the Beast, 4/4 with haste and death touch. You know, that thing's annoying. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. That's crazy, man. It would be great with that. Well, how can I think of that? Beast. Oh my god, I hate when I draw blanks. It's late at night. Whatever. Just kidding. I do it all the time. But this is really neat. I really enjoy the synergy here with nothing I just said. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. That's cool. And just really annoying. Let's keep bringing stuff back kind of stuff, you know. It only costs 2 to equip. I think that's really neat. So this will be a really fun card, Sword of the Realms. Anyway, guys, that's about all I got for you today. Here's the alternate art versions of these cards, which are pretty dope. Very different. It's like every time they drop a set, they make it really different and unique borders and frames now, which it's almost like, I get it. This is special for this set and this set only. It's a beautiful thing. All right, moving along. I don't want to get into all the other cards and craziness in here. I do have all the other ones. If you want to see that video, by all means, go back one video and check out the other spoilers that I dropped today as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming. Check out these other videos for sure. And skadoosh.